Yo, what's up guys, it's Aptrix here. Today in this video we'll be talking about a brand new Nintendo Switch emulator for Android which is currently under development. It is known as Torzu, which is also a forked version of Yuzu emulator, but not just that, it has the code of both Suyu and Sudachi emulator. So you can consider it just like Citra Enhanced Edition, which has the codes of official Citra Android as well as Citra MMJ. Torzu emulator is similar in that concept because it has some features from both these emulators, so it has latest compatibility and latest bug fixes. In this video I'll be talking about its current features and its minimum requirements, Android release date and much more. But before starting, if you guys are new here, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all notification, as I'll keep you guys up to date with the latest emulation news. Now guys, just like the Suyu emulator, this Nintendo Switch emulator will also be available for multiple operating systems such as Linux, Windows, Android, and last but not the least Mac OS. Now currently only Linux builds are available on its official GitHub page, but the next steps that the developer is going to take will be Windows release and afterwards Android release. Now the minimum requirements of Torzu emulator, as it is the fork version of Yuzu emulator, are similar. You will need at least Android version 10 or above, Snapdragon processor if you want a stable gameplay experience, for example Snapdragon 680 processor or above, and it should work even on some high-end MediaTek processors. But with that being said, on its official GitHub page it mentions that this project incorporates several commits from the Suyu and Sudachi forks but cleaned up due to the typical mediocre code/commit quality from both projects, as well as some custom changes including lowered minimum boost library version requirement and faster fibers. So the optimization of this emulator will be better than Suyu and Sudachi emulator. The developer has also mentioned that the code used from these emulators have been cleaned up before implementing it in the Torzu emulator. So overall it is going to be a more optimized version of these emulators with newer features and improvements in terms of performance as well. But for now only Linux build is present and we can't really talk much about its Android build, but as it has been released for Linux, we can take a look at its latest changelog. So the first build of Torzu emulator was released on 2024 April 28, and here's its changelog. Added option to optimize generated SPIRV shaders via SPIRV optimization, added option to synchronize CPU clock to render speed limit, added option to launch home menu from Switch firmware, that's pretty cool, fixed crash when switching away from null graphics per game, minor improvements and additions. So this is the official changelog which will be implemented in the upcoming build of Torzu emulator for Windows as well as Android devices, and we can't really predict a proper release date as the developer hasn't really provided us with much information. And let's not forget that Nintendo can possibly take down this emulator as well, just like it has done with lot of folks of Yuzu emulator. And let's also talk about the security in terms of this emulator. In our last video we saw how an Windows emulator for Android known as Boxvitra was deleting your internal storage. So nowadays nothing can be trusted, especially these brand new emulators that are popping out of nowhere. So in my opinion, I would ask you guys to just be patient and don't really care much about these Yuzu folks, as they are not likely to be released, and if they are released then obviously they might be taken down. And once again, even if they are released and not taken down, they might have some security issues. So yeah, we'll need to consider everything, and honestly I would say that just wait for the Ryujin Simulator's mobile port. If it ever happens, it will be the best Nintendo Switch emulator for Android devices. But do let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this brand new Nintendo Switch emulator for PC and Android. That's going to be it for today's video though. Thanks for watching, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all notification. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.